Hello everybody, welcome to a new review. Today I'm going to review Blade Runner. Um, First up, Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's one of my favorite, and in my opinion, one of the best science fiction films ever made. Although it has some problems, but we're going to talk about it all in this review. Just my personal story, I just love this film, but first up I didn't. I remember seeing this for the first time. I watched it, and maybe first up you have to watch this film just in one entire sitting. Just don't pause it and do something else. Just you gotta look at it. You gotta watch it just in one sitting. Just don't pause it. Just get on with it. Then this film is really outstanding piece of cinema. Um, so first up, I didn't like this film. Um, So then, I saw a few videos on YouTube talking about this film, and explaining all these different symbolic things that you can see in a scene and how the special effects work. And actually, I was like, I gotta give this another try. It's a famous film, one of the best science fiction films ever made. So let's give it another try. So I watched it again. I appreciate it much more than I did the first one. Um, so after one or two more times, I just loved it, and I still love it, and I think it's a great piece of cinema. Um, Again, all of this is my opinion, so don't get angry. And well, let's just start the review. It was released in 1982. Was produced by Warner Brothers and directed by Ridley Scott. The cast was Harrison Ford, Rutger Hauer, Sean Young, and many more. The acting is really great in this film, but we'll get to that later. It was based on the Philip K. Dick novel, a very famous science fiction writer. I saw a few days ago in a Reddit the book that I have about Blade Runner called The Making of Blade Runner. Which is a great book. Pick it up if you like this film, because it talks very deeply into what it meant and how it was made, because it was a tough shoot. But I read there that Philip K. Dick is one of the most influential and most important people in the science fiction world, in the science fiction novel world of the 20th century. So that's really outstanding. Another thing, this movie has gained more respect after its home release, and after people could watch it at their homes, and pause the film and get another experience than going to the cinema. And of course, this movie is famous of its many cuts. You got the first cut, the theatrical cut, which is pretty shitty with some crappy voiceover by Harrison Ford. It has the director's cut, which I like, but the best cut and it's called the final cut, is the most relevant cut, and which is really the final cut that will ever come out of Blade Runner. So that's sometimes pretty confusing for people. I remember seeing the final cut, if I remember it very well, the first time. I recommend watching the final cut, because that's really how Ridley Scott wants you to see this film. So I would definitely see it that way. Another thing, the new Blade Runner came out about a month ago or something, called Blade Runner 2049. This is a great film. I love it. Not gonna go too deep into my review, because I'm gonna review it later in the future for you. But yeah, I think it's one of the best movies that came out this year. Of course, there are still movies coming out, and The Last Jedi is coming out in about a month. So excited for that. But from now already, it's my favorite film of the year. Just great. So the summary. This movie is in the future of 2019 Los Angeles, and has become a dark and depressing metropolis filled with urban decay. Rick Deckard, an ex-cop, is a Blade Runner. Blade Runners are people assigned to assassinate replicants. Uh, the replicants are androids that look like real human beings. When four replicants commit a bloody mutiny on the off-world colony, Deckard is called out of retirement to track down the android. As he tracks the replicants, eliminating them one by one, he soon comes across another replicant, Rachel, who evokes human emotion, despite the fact that she's a replicant herself. As Deckard closes in the leader of the replicant group, his true hatred toward artificial intelligence makes him question his own identity in this future world, including what's human and what's not human. So that's about what the movie is about. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I just remember saying that in the Predator reviews, and if you may already tell you right now that most of the reviews coming out soon are great films, not too bad, but we later will go in the future to some really bad films. It will be a lot of fun to me. So check everything out. Just put on your notifications so you know that we have uploaded a video. So my thoughts, my ups. This movie is one of the best good-looking films I've ever seen. The special effects are just phenomenal. It makes you just thinking. It's every building, every little detail, every little light has been placed by a person. Somebody made this world. It's not just made in the computer. No, it's really made in a model, stuff like that. It's really outstanding. So yeah, it's just crazy to think about it. The special effects are just great in this film. I think the acting is great. The chemistry between Harrison Ford and Sean Young is great. You have many scenes with no dialogue, but it still works with their emotions. And one thing that always sticks out to me in this film is Vangelis' music score. With his synthesizer, this music is so great. If you never heard it or didn't really paid attention to it, just look up on the internet, on YouTube, and if you just listen to it, you can listen. It's a score you can listen without the movie. It's really a easy listening, and the themes are great. Just go search it right now and go and listen to it because it's just great. Although I love this film, I have some downs with it. It has a very slow pace. Although I love it, it's a pretty slow movie. You gotta take your time to watch this film. So yeah, be warned. It's a slow movie. It's something I always found it pretty weird because the trailer of this film it looks like it's an action film, like a very action-packed film, but it's actually a pretty slow movie. And yeah, so be warned that this is maybe a slow film, but you gotta appreciate this film because it has been so important to movie making, and it inspired so many other movies. The whole style of it, it inspired like Ghost in the Shell, that anime series. It inspired that. If you think about Minority Report, which is a movie from Steven Spielberg and based off a short story of Philip K. Dick. It looks kind of that dystopian metropolis, depressing thing, depressing city. So it's in Brazil and other very dark. Oh, of course, The Matrix and other dark movies. It just inspired so many other films. But yeah, it's a very slow pace, but you gotta appreciate that. And another thing I always found so weird is that there's a sort of rape scene between Harrison Ford's character Deckard and Sean Young's character Rachel. It's very weird. Yeah, I always think like, why did they keep that in the film? It always confused me. I wouldn't. Yeah, Well, you gotta see it to believe it. So I recommend watching this film. It's very good. I recommend watching the sequel. I think it's a great sequel. Um, I gotta give this film a grade, of course, because I do that with every review. I give this one a 9.5 because, of course, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I just love it, and I keep coming back for more and just looking into details. And I have a book. I'm really excited of reading this book that I have. So yeah, I love it, and I hope you're gonna watch it. So this was the video, the review. Hope to see you next time. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, and of course maybe comment. And hopefully see you in another video. Bye guys.